Well, hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Airfix and Chill, episode 101. Wow. So we've, as I said, it's been 2 weeks because last week I was seeing Tim Peake at the Exeter University talking about space. And as you know how much I love space, it was absolutely fantastic. If you can go and see him, he's doing a UK tour, talking mostly about astronauts and about the story of astronauts. It's a phenomenal story. Doesn't go too much into his own time on the ISS, which was a bit of a shame because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go and see him. But he's doing a tour up and down the country talking about the space race and astronauts and how they train and everything. It was a fascinating subject
about the space race and astronauts.
It's got me on. There you go. It was really insightful, and still the model companies will not build new space models. The bastards, you know what I mean. Give me something to build. Right. So tonight we've got Brett from High Altitude Scale Modeling. Hello, my friend. How are you?
So you're on mute, Brett.
You're on mute, Brett.
How's that?
That's better. How are you, my friend? All right?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Thank you. Very, very good. What's your history in scale modeling? I presume you own a shop in America.
Yeah, I have a hobby shop in the mountains of Colorado, and I've been modeling since I was 9 years old. My dad got me into it, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I never really stopped. I slowed down from time to time, but I never really stopped.
Do you have times when you're like, I can't face a model because I've been working in a model shop all day?
No, not really, because the model shop's also part of a hardware store. So.
Oh, I see. That's all part and parcel, is it, between the two? Oh, fantastic.
Actually, the model part's fun and the hardware stores work.
Yeah. I suppose if you need PVA glue or, canopy glue, you've got it there in the hardware side as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fantastic. And you all know most of the guys here, James, John Alec, Luke, Alex. Yep. Alex also owns a model shop.
Alex a couple times.
Yeah. So it's just really, really good to have you on board. So, anyways, tonight we're going to talk about Revell. Now, as you know, they had a rumor leaked on ScaleMates about this meteor. Now, we had a discussion, it must have been 2 years ago, that when they announced this meteor, it was going to cost £145. And that was the F3, I believe it was. And now they've kind of turned it around slightly, and now they're going to do an F8 FR9. The announcement's out there. There's a blog post on the Revell website. If I click this button here, I should be able to get it up. Share screen. There you go. We'll get it up so on the side. Come on, there you go. So obviously it's in German first because they are a German company, but they've got, if you just scroll down, just get to the English part. There's no CAD images at all. It's just basically their scans. Now, 1/32 scale was Revell are renowned to do pretty good 1/32 scale aircraft and models themselves. But as I said, they've announced this to put out there. What's everybody's thoughts on this then? This meteor, is it something that's missing in scale modeling per se, or if people are more worried about pricing, is 1/32 scale something you're going to build? So put it out there. Who wants to go first? What's your thoughts on it? I'll tell you what, we'll go over to Alex because he knows about this as a scale model shop owner. What's your thoughts on this release?
I mean, it's nothing new, right? Revell announced this for release last year. They announced it again for this year, and now they've announced it again this year, albeit modified. I think the changes that they're making hopefully come from the fact that Luke has now joined Revell, and he is in charge of the space and aircraft part, because Revell do divide them into different areas. And I think maybe all these scans is part of that. On a bit back to the drawing board, and well, obviously they have because they're doing a different version, right? And doing more research. I mean, the Meteor is, it's hardly an uncovered subject. Airfix have done the 148 scale. They've just released the 72nd this year with new bit for that. 32nd scale is going to be big. A lot of people will be looking forward to it, I'm sure. And if they do it right, I think it would be good to see Revell do something new and good and really show what they're capable of now, because it's long overdue. Let's face it. But pricing is important, obviously. If it was £150 as it was originally come out, it's too much.
Yeah, it was definitely an oh my good lord sort of moment when we first saw that sort of price. But then if you actually looked into it, they are good. There was a lot of, they called it the platinum edition. So there was a lot of talk of photo etch, resin, lots of decal sheets. And I presume there would have been a book, which is what Revell tend to do these days, is put out a model and then give you a book that's like 18 pages long, hardback, mind, and then add £30 for the privilege of having that book, or €30.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this before. I mean, I think personally, the platinum editions, these books and things, are a mistake. I mean, certainly, and I don't know, I'll be interested what Brett does for his shop. I never stock the platinum stuff unless it's, like end of line and they're reducing them, because it doesn't sell. Generally, people want a kit, and you have to appeal to the most people. So you want a basic kit. If people want photo etch, if people want to add to it, there's a lot of companies doing that sort of stuff. So a platinum edition, when you're providing it all, it sounds like a good thing, and I'm sure there is a market for it. I think it's a limited market, and you're kind of limiting what people can have, because it's all in one, rather than like, oh yeah, I'd like to get a resin engine, or I'd like to get some stuff just for the cockpit. So, yeah. But certainly in the shop, I tend to avoid those sort of, high-end, high-ticket price kits. If you're going to get a high-end, high-ticket price kit, then it's probably, like a Zokimura or a high-end mini art kit of stuff which is well known for it, rather than a Revell with bells on.
Your thoughts on that, Brett? As a scale model shop owner, would you go down that route of having the high-end stuff in your shop?
Well, my experience with Revell, people in America don't think of Revell as a high-end kit. And if it's 150 pounds, it's going to be $180.
Yeah.
And I would probably not sell any, because I don't know a lot of guys in America who are going to spend $180 on a Revell kit when they get Zukimura or high-end Tamiya or, something like that. I had the Platinum Edition B1 and I had the Platinum Edition B29, and the only person who bought them was me. And, I got them at cost, so I didn't pay the.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted the Platinum Edition. But those were old molds too, so that could have been part of it. But I don't think a Revell kit in America at $180 is going to work. And, John, he's American too, and he may agree with me or not, because, he's over here. It just, Revell's never been thought of as that kind of company.
I agree.
The quality of their kits lately have not been worth it. And they're putting out kits, old molds at high prices. And that's one of our biggest complaints with them is, Tamiya puts out old molds and doesn't raise the prices. Why is Revell doing it? The molds are paid for. I mean, yeah, they just bought the company, so maybe they're not paid for, but they're still old molds. So they'd have to lower the price to around $100 before it's sold a lot over here.
Yeah.
I think Brett hit the nail on the head there, actually, about Revell. As Revell's reputation is not that of even a revised Airfix. You know, it's certainly not at Tamiya. You know, who again it would be cheaper. So I think the provenance of it doesn't justify that kind of thing. Exactly as Brett said, you know, I think it's the same in the UK. Maybe in Germany it's seen differently, but I'm not really sure. I think it's fairly universal that Revell is seen as a, you know, run of the mill kind of manufacturer, I would say.
Right, your everyday kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, do you build much Revell? Because I'm looking out. Basically I'm outside pissing in when it comes to Revell. You know, and I'm being serious. You know, you can imagine my model kit collection consists of, I know, 60% Airfix, 20% Tamiya, a few Revell kits that have taken my fancy. To actually, you know, I think that I remember Luke ringing me up and going through a questionnaire with me, and he asked me what was the last thing I built, and it was the Airbus 321 Neo, I think it was the Airbus. And I said to him, I goes, but that isn't Revell kit though, is it? That's an Academy plane because it's made in Korea. So I was actually building an Academy. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really an aircraft builder as such, although I built a few this year. Armor-wise, I wouldn't touch Revell, to be honest. I just wouldn't. I think them pricing it, if that's going to be the price point, 130 quid, unless that is an exceptional kit, and the only way we're going to know that is when they release it and people build it. That's the only way we're going to know if it's any good or not. But straight away, like the guys have said, the name Revell and that price tag, I will pay £250 for a model kit if it's Zukimura, if it's high-end Tamiya, because or border models, or you're getting a quality kit. Most people won't pay that, to be fair, for any kit. Doesn't matter who makes it. But put Revell and that price tag together, unless they really do something exceptional, I don't think it'll work, to be honest. I don't think people will. There won't be anticipation for it, I don't think, at that price.
Would it be beneficial then, just put it out there, if they released, I'm not saying it's going to be £145. So we all know 2 years ago that was the price that they were going to put out there. What if Revell put it out there and just plucking this out of the air? They use like res kit for the resin and Edard for the photo. I'm just trying to think photo etch and cartograph for the decals. Even though I have been informed when I saw them at Bristol or Yeovils, is it Bristol? Yeah, which one was it? It was Avon's model show. That they do actually use cartograph decals in their kits now. Yeah. So you don't know that it's not on the side of the box, but they will start putting that on the side of the box that they're I said, don't worry about being on the side of the box, just make sure that it says cartograph on the actual decal sheet, because that's what we look for is the decal sheet, what it says on the decal sheet. But anyway,
I think the best way they could market that at that price is do all that, make it the best possible product that they can do. And then the best way of marketing it is to send it out to certain individuals to review and build it, not just an inbox review, build it, and create a bit of a buzz around the release. So send it out before their release date, because that's the only way that the community as a whole is going to get on board at that price. Does that make sense? It's the only way of doing it, because I think Steve has said in the chat there's trust issues with Revell from the community, because we all know. But they can alleviate that trust issue by sending it out to people that the community trusts. They build it. It's a good product. It's worth the money. Then they'll sell it. If they don't do that sort of marketing, I don't think they'll sell it.
It's a good show. Just a couple of comments being raised on the chat here. Revell could get a good chunk of the UK market with this new kit, but only if it's fair, competitive price and good quality. Now, I understand that. You're spot on, get a good chunk of the UK market. It's unfortunate. I don't know anyone in Germany, the scale models, who could speak English fluently to come on here tonight and talk about Revell from a German's perspective, because I don't know whether they have the same sort of attachment to us UK lot with Airfix as the Germans do with Revell.
Well, Moss, I've got a bit of inside.
You want to tell me now you've learnt German, haven't you?
No, I've got family who live in Germany.
Fair play.
And I've obviously been around the model shops and seen obviously Kaufhof, one of their biggest stores, was like wall to wall Revell.
Yeah.
In the model department, with a bit of the Scenics by Knock and whatever else. But you saw all these kits that people have been after over here. All these what ifs for the 1946. What if 1946? Like the German kits, the prototypes that weren't even a flight, or they were the plans. You saw all those over there.
Yeah. Fair play.
Do you mean like Hitler's secret weapons? You mean?
Yes. The Wonder Waffen.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. When they had that flying saucer, they got hammered for that because they made out it was, well, the way it was written on the side of the box, it was actually in flight, and you've never seen it reboxed again, though, have you? It's like disappeared. But actually, I've seen people build it. I've got one upstairs.
No, I think Tacom do it.
Oh, Tacom do
that.
Annabelle. But it is a pretty good kit. I've seen is it Alex Scale Modeling, the one who does all the ships and stuff. He's done that flying saucer. It's brilliant looking build. All wooden floor work and everything, all wood. So
wasn't that kit based on the Roswell flying saucer originally?
No, it's based on a
tool.
It was a what if, yeah. It was a what if.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the actual tooling. It wasn't the actual tooling took from the Roswell flying saucer.
No.
It was a new tool.
It was a brand new tool, yeah. It's only released twice, I think.
I remember it being in German markings.
No swastikas, just the German.
German crosses. Yeah.
John Ashley Smith says, "I would call Revell an indifferent manufacturer, new tool or ancient relic. They are indifferent to the idea of consistency." Yeah, very true. Now, Celtic West is spot on. I like the Reebok Bandai Star Wars stuff and the Reebok Punchbox stuff. And yeah. But again, at what price? We had this discussion about the first dioramas, didn't we? We all thought, new Sherman and knew that. And it was just Matchbox inside, Well, that was a bad thing because, to be fair, Matchbox, good, but with the nice art, box art and first diorama, and they said it's a new, it was a new line. You think, you're buying something with and they weren't cheap either. I think they were 20 quid, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah, they were 20 odd quid, which is, and even Airfix with their tanks, you can pick them up for $11.99, and they come with 2 more paints than what they got in the Revell one. So my first diorama, but you can only paint the stonework green or brown. Do the maths. So yeah, that's good. Steve London, you're correct, Luke. Revell trust issues. Who else we've got here? Going down. Hi John Ashley. Think you hit the nail on the head. The direct comparison would be Hong Kong Models 132nd Meteor F4, which is a plastic only kit and typically sells around $90. That's a good shout, actually.
Yeah.
Because the F4 is the original one they were going to do, wasn't it?
F3. I think.
The F3. So is the F4 got the cut off wings as well? Was it got the bubble wings?
No, the F4's got the tall tail, but it had the long pipes, and the
It's got
F3 had the long pipes and the long intakes.
Ah,
and the longer it's
F3
longer
has a short
in the
intake.
body as well.
yeah. But the wings aren't cut though, are they? They're
No.
rounded
No,
wings,
no.
aren't they?
No.
They're cut, are
Just-
they? On the F4?
No, they're not tripped. No, the F3 should have been rounded tips, and the F4 which was squared.
Squared, and the F8 is squared as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the F8
Yeah.
isn't the F8 different engines though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have the diamond engines, did they, in the F3? Did
No.
they? They had them in the F8.
Avons, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a
as long as
shame. It's a shame they didn't work with an F3 because there's not many F3s on the market.
Hmm.
The old
Well,
Airfix
from a
is the
company,
only one that comes to
from a
mind.
company point of view, John, the F3 doesn't make a lot of sense for reboxing
Yeah.
because most of
No.
them will be for a certain air
Yeah.
for the
That's
RF.
right. That's why they've done it,
Whereas
isn't it?
the F8 does literally. I've had a look, and it does literally everyone.
Yeah.
Got it everywhere.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
As long as I feel I'm playing Rush, this is Michael Myers. Oh, great name. As long as I feel I'm playing Russian roulette with the quality, I never drop a C note on a Revell kit. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
The Luft 46 kits like the AR 555 and others, they're not bad, but they were from around the 2010s when they were still consistent.
Mm.
So are you saying that there was a drop from 2010 onwards, that the consistency of Revell's tooling had gone?
There was. So I've mentioned this many times. From about 1991-ish to about 2010, Revell actually invested a lot in new tools. They did some really nice things. Junkers JU290, the BV222, the Flitzer, a whole bunch of 1/72nd scale fighters. Did a whole bunch of stuff, like the Hannibal. And then, well, they went bust, didn't they?
Yeah.
So obviously financial problems, like the end of Airfix in the 80s, they stopped making tools. They tried to, shore up or stop the cost part and just do it. And eventually, not investing in new tools doesn't get you anywhere, especially with the rise of, China or the Chinese manufacturers coming up.
Yeah.
Consistency of Tamiya, that if you think around that time was when Hornby bought Airfix, started investing in that. So a lot more competition. I really hope that this kit represents, Phoenix Asset Management. No, it's not Phoenix, is it? It's that's Hornby. The asset management company, anyway, have given them a bit more, let's try and actually get it.
Carrera?
Carrera's company, yeah.
Carrera's the other brand that is there. I can't remember it's just an investment company. It's like most investment companies, got a name that doesn't mean anything.
Quantum Capital Partners, according to
Quantum Capital Partners.
That's
like Phoenix Asset Management. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't tell you anything about the company because it doesn't really exist, does it? It's just a bunch of people with money. But hopefully they've given them a bit of free reign to invest and make Revell back what it was back then. Because since then, when you get a good kit, like you found, Moss, it could be Academy.
Yeah.
They've been doing quite a bit of ICM for the past 10 years.
Which is good for ICM, to be fair, because I think that, with the ICM join, I don't think ICM have got that reach, whereas Revell can say, let me buy the plastic off you and we'll box it in our colours and off it goes.
Or didn't you find out, Alex, that Revell ICM did a Revell kit?
So ICM have released a couple of, they're Leopards, both 35th scale and 72nd scale. The 72nd scale I am building at the moment. And that Leopard is from 2012, I think. It's okay. It's not a bad kit. It's certainly better than the Trumpeter Challenger 2. The 72nd kit is okay. Which is a check. Actually, Revell 172nd armor, again from around that time. They did the T80, they did the Panzer Haubitz 2000, they did the Tiger.
The Tiger is amazing.
Really, really nice stuff.
Mm.
The problem is, if you look at that stuff that Revell, because Revell are releasing a lot of that now, but it's like 20 or 25 pounds for those kits. Ridiculous. I mean, you might as well, a lot of the time, the Revell 35th scale stuff is a couple of pounds more than the 72nd. It's like, well, you might as well buy the 35th scale or a trumpet or a hobby boss. So again, because it's run by a different part, so they've partitioned into different divisions, there's no price consistency. And again, that builds the trust issues as well as, not saying where the provenance of the kit is, when the provenance of the kit is. You can buy a kit in a nice shiny box that can be from 1952 or 2002. You just don't know unless you go to Scalemates, unless you already know.
Don't you think, Alex, don't you think that some of the Revell 72nd armor is really, really good? I mean, they're doing the leopard tank now. I've never built a bad Revell 72nd scale armor kit.
No.
Not one.
Well, the leopard, the leopard's not a bad kit, but just as an aside, so you see those tracks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Length and length, aren't they?
They're plastic, but they're single length.
Yeah.
So that you get 4 lengths and you're meant to bend them in hot water. It's a nice idea. It doesn't fucking work.
I remember, because when I built
they should have given you length and link.
I built the Leclerc, it was all length and link, and you had individual little track lengths to go around the drive cog and the idler cog.
They do the same with the T80 and the
really
Panzer Helvets, and they're really good kits. Yeah. The length
The
and link.
Rubicon models have got it sussed when it comes to tracks, though. Fuck on, they've got it sussed. They have. I had one trouble with one of them, the T34 I was building. I had a bit of a trouble because the instructions had them backwards for some reason. Instructions weren't right. But when it comes, I think Rubicon, shame it's 156 because I would have easily taken. If they were 130, 172nd or 135th, I would have taken those tracks out of that kit and put them on the other ones, like the makeup, because they are bloody good. They are easy to put together.
To be honest, though, Moss, if kits were like the Airfix Sherman and gave me the option of, do you want to build it yourself? Or here is actually the whole suspension with the track in 70-second scale, I'd probably choose that every time.
Yeah.
Because the 70-second scale is it's an arse doing it individually. Like the idler wheels, and stuff. It's just like
the best type of tracks I've ever used were off an Airfix Cromwell. I couldn't fault them. You build the chassis up and then you put half the wheels on and the track is one piece.
Yeah.
And you lay it onto the inner wheels and you fit the outer wheels over the top. But of course you can paint everything before you put it together. It's so good. It's the only kit I've ever seen where it's like it. If every tank model kit was like that, it would be brilliant.
The trouble is that we like sag, don't we? We like sag.
Yeah, but these were pre-sagged. These were pre-sagged in between. The little rollers on the top, they were pre-sagged in between the rollers. They were brilliant.
Oh, fair enough. Let's look at that kit.
Have a look at it, Moss.
Yeah,
and it's a good kit as well. It's a really nice looking model.
We'll have a look at that.
You can build it with or without the breathing apparatus.
Yeah. Yeah, fair play. I'm sorry, I'm just going through it. I have 3 of the Revell versions of the 144 pane Tornado. Beautiful tooling, but atrocious painting instructions using their branded paints in ratios in grayscale diagrams. Yeah. But that's Revell anyway, isn't it? That's the trouble. Is, see, modern day Revell instructions with all the color and all the panache are very, very good. But like with everything, as soon as when you're having to blend their colors to get in. And why they use A, B, C, D, and E, and then that just just give them a name. This is going to be dark sea grey. Something like that. That's the hardest bit, and they're not consistent like that. I get that. I'm not trying to slag off Revell. We're just trying. There are some good things about Revell as we're hearing. They're, you can go back and see some of the old tooling, but at the end of the day, I think Airfix worked this out right from the very beginning, that if you hoodwink a customer with tooling age, if you try and wrap it up into a fresh box, shiny box, you'll piss people off. Hence why they decided anything pre-Hornby, or shall I say not designed on CAD goes in Vintage Classics, and they always put on the side of the box now the tooling date and the pack design dates, and which is brilliant. And Hella are now doing it, but then so it's something. But then Revell are looking into this, as we've been told.
I mean, Hella doing it is a bit like I don't know, like having an ABBA album and saying this is from the 70s. It's like, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I think the most entertaining one is the massive break box you get for the Apollo Saturn V for Revell, the 196 scale one, and it's all flat pack.
Yeah.
It's actually a good shout, the box thing as well. And apart from their dreadful end opening boxes, which are all hate. But the other thing is they always have a box which is way, way too big for the kit. Which, apart from it being kind of a bit of a con, which doesn't, again, help with the trust thing, it means the stuff can rattle around inside, so you're more likely to get stuff broken. So they need to sort out quite a few basics in the company.
Well, this came through this week. Hawker P1127, right? This is the first Vintage Classic. I've just gone through my stash of Vintage Classics. I can't find one. All the other Vintage Classics are top opening boxes. This one's side opening.
Oh, is it?
Side opening. That's the first Vintage Classic I've seen with a side opening box. Everything else is top opening.
It's a nice little kit, that though, Moss. Needs a bit of work, but it's a nice little kit.
Yeah, James has built it. Yeah, James told me it's a good little kit to build. And it's not a Hawker Hunter, allegedly.
One, so.
I'm gonna say, what does it say? Weird as usual. That's right. You can't see that one. That's good. Going down through, I have some unboxings of recent releases. I noticed the full color paint diagrams, which is great. I wish they just list different manufacturer paints equivalent. Listen, you'll never. It's like Airfix. They're always going to be Hornby. You're pissing in the wind, wanting any others. If they're independent, for instance, I think it's ICM give you Vallejo. They don't do Humble, do they?
No, ICM just cite their own.
Is it Vallejo?
No, they're just
it's just their own.
ICM paints.
Their own, is it? Was it not ICM then? One of the companies.
There's lots of manufacturers out there that will give you various manufacturers of paint.
Yeah.
But if that manufacturer is tied to or produce their own paint, you're only ever gonna get the call out for that manufacturer. If Revell were telling you, well, this is the color in Tamiya, like, why would they do that when they do their own paint? It's just, they just would never do it.
Airfix did it in the early 70s, Luke.
Did they?
They bought a model in the early 70s. It had all the Airfix paint numbers.
Yeah, they were
Black was M3.
Yeah,
no, M6.
Yeah,
M6. Green was M3.
So that was the best.
Advertising another company if they put.
Yeah, they wouldn't advertise because they made their own paint.
Yeah, but if they did, so if Airfix, for example, now didn't put Humboldt call outs and they put Vallejo, well, they're just advertising a Vallejo product for free, aren't they? That's all they do. They'll never do it.
Yeah, Airfix originally had their own paint because it was the best system ever. Because if it was M at the beginning, so it was like M6 was matte.
Yeah.
G was gloss.
G was gloss.
Was that satin?
Yes,
it was M. Oh God. Was it M? Oh, the varnish was gloss and matte, but it had their own regular numbers, but they were M something and G something.
Yeah. It was
I
really
can't
good.
remember what the numbers were for gloss because I never used them when I was a kid. Didn't see the point. Didn't change the colour of the aircraft.
Yeah. I just too quick. I can't find it. I'm pissed off. I missed the comment out, but I'll go this one first. I'm really new to scale modeling, but I've been very impressed by Luke's research and input into Airfix. Now he has left. Will we see an improvement in Revell on and are Airfix covered with research? I think you've got to remember that Luke's role is different. Was different in Airfix than it is in Revell. So he's not just a researcher at he's not a researcher at Revell. He's actually product management. Is it product of the of space and flight, basically
Space and aircraft.
space and aircraft. So yeah, so I'm loving that because he knows how I feel about space anyway.
Yeah.
So he better pull good. I think Airfix have all be pretty covered, but what I've gathered, and they haven't, if you think about it, Luke will tell you that he was working on projects 3 years in advance with Airfix. They were looking at 2026, 2027 tooling. So everything in the next 3 years is going to have Luke's hand on it for sure, I guess. So,
yeah, because if you think the Sea King, which was released last year, they were researching COVID.
Yeah.
So, that's 3 years.
I think that's cool. Somebody mentioned that they don't have their own in-house design team. That's quite interesting. Revell.
No, I saw that comment.
Outsource it to third party.
I did see that comment.
Because that's the thing I love about Airfix. I believe ICM are the same. That they've got designers who are actually scale model builders. If you've got people outside, they're not necessarily going to be scale model builders and have the wants and the idiosyncrasies of us scale modelers, like the fact that Airfix played a blinder with that Chinook and they gave you added parts so that you can drill the holes properly on the Chinook. It's fantastic. They give you masking tabs as well, and because people get worried about when you cut parts off the sprue, Pramjit with the Gannet thought that, well, if we leave the tag on the bottom of the part so you can spray it up and paint it, then when you want to fit it, you then cut that tab off and it goes in. You're not going to lose out what part goes where. Clever ideas. Would you get that from outside resources,
I think there's a lot of companies out there that haven't got a research and design team. And when you think there's so many companies that produce kits that are a nightmare to assemble, that's got to be that issue.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone's built an ACE kit, they're not very easy to assemble.
Right. What company, and John as well, what is the gold standard in America? Have you got I'm not talking about, I know tamiya is big in America, but have you got an American company? Like we've got Airfix, Germany's got Revell. Have you got an American company that's like the gold standard to you guys, or you are, you feel closely bonded to for scale model stuff?
There's not a lot. Salvino's JR makes NASCAR kits. They're American.
Yeah.
Revell's out of Germany now. Round 2 does a lot of Reeboks and the old AMT MPC stuff. If they get it right, they're doing really well. But we don't have like an Airfix.
Oh, see. Okay.
We're still the last Revell aircraft I built was the F-15E because it was amazing. Some of the best-selling kits still are the B-17, B-24, B-25, all those old monogram kits that are now Revell kits. Those still sell better than almost every other Revell aircraft kit. And they're 50 and 60 years old.
Yeah.
So there's still some lingering attachment to Revell because of their history. But no, not unless you can think of one, John. I can't think of any American.
No, I agree with you. It's, the AMT, the MP, so round 2. And even now AMT came out with a new, it was like, what was it, a pickup truck or something. And it still, it looked like it had a bunch of flash on it and stuff like that. It's brand new tooling and it's got flash. What was it? HPI did a review of it. But yeah, we do not have a homegrown rock star, even like, I can't think of any. We just buy from basically everywhere else around the world.
Most of the Americans I know love Border, love Riffield, love HK, love Tamiya. Love Airfix, but Airfix is so hard to get over here. Even for me to get them here,
Correct.
from a wholesale cost, it takes me forever. If I want a kit, I buy it from Flory's company, PM Models, and I have it right away. As soon as Phil has it, he ships it to me. But if I want to sell it, get it from Airfix, and Alex knows this, he's had problems with Airfix, it takes forever to get them here. And a big company like Sprue Brothers takes them forever to Airfix to get here, but we love them.
Yeah. I got the impression that Airfix are going hard in America, and I think they're going to have better distribution of Airfix kits.
That would
There
be great.
seems to be, going by what I've heard from Australia, they've had some newer release tooling get to them quicker than they've ever seen it before. And there's no denying that Airfix have been looking at the American market by some of the releases they've put out in the last 2 or 3 years. They've aimed for the American, like the Liberator. You know what I mean? That's going to be definitely the market that they're going for, isn't it? The Mustangs, you know, etc.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that Hellcat, I sold a lot of those Hellcats when I could get them over here.
yeah.
And Revell, their car kits, like this new Corvette and the new Mach 1,
Yeah.
they're great. I build Revell car kits all the time, but their aircraft and stuff is just taking such a big dive that unless it's an old one, there's no point.
There is a company from America. It's a shame that they went bust, and that's Accurate Miniatures.
Yeah,
They
they
were
had good kits.
awesome. They were. And Revell release a lot of them now.
Yeah. Their B24s and Accurate Miniatures, if I recall.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Does round 2 produce new tooling, or are they just living off the dreams and the whispers of Detroit, basically, in America? Is that what round 2 do?
They update the tooling. They have some new tooling, like they're doing the new Charger. They're doing the Hellcat Charger. They're doing some things, not a lot, but they try to update a lot of the tooling. Like the new Demon, they updated the body on, and there's a few things. They'll do things, new tires, new glass, things like that.
Yeah. So they don't actually do much with. They don't actually like design and do a new tooling, basically.
No,
It's all-
Mobius, I forgot about them. They're out of America. They do new tools, but they're all old Ford trucks. They're going to be doing some Chevy trucks, Dodge cars, things like that. But again, some of their flash is a little excessive on them, but they're good kits. And they take forever to come out.
Yeah.
I'd rather have flash than short shot.
Yeah, I've never seen a short shot on any of them.
Yeah,
Mobius.
that's true. I guess. Yeah, you can always clean off a little bit of flash.
Yeah, that's right. It just means the part under the flash is fine. Usually.
Because what I want is a John Deere tractor. That is, I want a John Deere tractor.
I've seen one.
They're available, but you know they did a 4430, and I think it was AMT, and round 2. Obviously, have got the tooling, but they've never released it. I don't know how much of the tooling they've got, but yeah, there is a John Deere out there. Because I like to use some particular colours, and was it MPC? No, it wasn't. It was definitely AMT, and they did this John Deere, and no one else. If you look throughout the market, no one's ever since tooled a John Deere tractor, and I'd like a John Deere tractor. I'm hoping that round 2 would have at least released the tooling, because if you want to buy one now, they're about $90 for this tractor.
Wow.
Because they've not been released since 1980s or something, but it'd be like, yeah. And John Deere is such a fast, you see a green and yellow tractor, you know damn well it's a John Deere, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, beautiful tractors, American made, aren't they? Is that right? They're made in America.
Yeah, I think
In America.
Yeah. So yeah.
Big in Britain.
Fair enough. Model Minutes did an Alma unboxing last night. Only 2 sprues, no bag, huge box, and transparent part scratch. As he said, probably the sprues are rattling around. Is that because of the side opening box I was talking about? I do, yeah. A lot of Airfixes, like the Curtis P40 Warhawk, the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1A, a lot of the old starter sets were inside opening boxes, but all the vintage classic ones were top opening, like the hovercraft, the Trident, all these vintage classic toolings. But now they've gone for a side opening box. So that must, I'm just assuming that's for price.
Moss, I think you've actually, I think with vintage classics, I seem to remember the Mark 1 male tank came in a side opening box.
No.
And the Cromwell did.
I'm just looking up, no, because I had them up there. I had
weren't the starter set side opening boxes?
I had the Cromwell tank. What have I done with
Starter
it?
sets were, yeah.
I think all the starter sets were side opening boxes.
They were.
Because I bought the Cromwell when it was a starter pack and it had a side opening box.
That's the old tooling, isn't it? The old tooling.
No, that's the one with the new tracks.
Yeah. The new tracks. No, you wouldn't have got the. Yeah, you would have actually.
Yeah, it had all those god awful bloody acrylic paints, in the pack that you just put in the bin.
Right. Okay, that's fair enough. I thought I had a Churchill up here, but obviously the Japanese. Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah.
It's funny. It's funny what that guy who did the comment before about Model Minutes' inbox review, because every MR kit is the same. There's no bags. I've got one here in front of me. There's no bags. I mean, look at it.
Yeah,
You're
no
right.
bags at all. Everything wrapped around inside.
Well, I say I built their tadpole last year. I didn't really. I bought the kit because I know I was going to chop it up and bury it, basically. I didn't want to buy the men kit because it's too expensive, and I got the MR kit for like a tenner. But that was the same. It was like a massive box, no bag, everything. And it didn't matter if anything was damaged because I was going to damage it anyway.
So is it now plastic filler?
No, I used it. So I did a diorama called Ghosts. So I used their kit and I submerged it.
Talking about this, I remember this.
Submerged it into the ground and rusted it all up. Yeah.
You're right. The Japanese Type 97 medium tank, this one, that's a side opening box as well. But all the other planes I've had have been top opening boxes.
Opening lids,
yeah. But yeah,
I've got one of those Chihar kits on a blister pack.
Yeah. To be fair, when you look at it, this is what tooling was this? It'll tell you on the side, won't it? Now
it would have been mid-70s.
Yeah. So model design tooling, 1974.
Yeah.
And there isn't a scrap of flash.
No, it's a nice kit too.
Not a scrap of flash on this. It's inaccurate. I know it's inaccurate, but then all these toolings were inaccurate. But not a scrap of flash on that. But then this was £6.99.
Yeah,
now if Revell would rebox this,
it'd be 12 quid.
It would have been 15, 18 quid, wouldn't it? That was the crux of the matter. And then when that trust dies, it's really hard to get it back, and that's why. And we got to thank Daryl, God rest his soul, because he come up with the idea of vintage classics.
Yeah,
FX. So they didn't hoodwink anyone. So put it in an original box of either Roy Cross artwork or the original, not quite the original artwork, because when the blister pack there was a different artwork, was it? Then they redone the artwork in the late 60s or whatever.
Yeah,
and they go back to as far as they think is reasonable, and this one here is the same. The reason I haven't built this one is because it's just look how many colours that needs, isn't it?
Yeah,
a lot of colours for you know what I mean? So yeah. But other than that, there's some lovely detail on it. Raised rivets, which is what you want for a tank, isn't it? So yeah, I think it's something to look into. But yeah, so
you do have to watch when you're assembling the suspension on that, because it's quite easy to put the wheels around the wrong way.
Oh, I see. Fair enough. But
Here you go. This is what I did to the MR kit.
Yeah, show it up again.
Show it up, because I remember you showing this before. Yeah,
Ghosts. Did you win an award for that one?
It's never been in a competition, mate.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, that's what I did. So I just chopped it up, so it didn't really matter that it was shit.
You know what I think you should do, Luke, one day?
Mm.
You should get photographs of all your dioramas and make a book out of them and just
Fuck you.
put the captions and story behind the diorama, because I think it would be very interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
That's interesting because they do own the monogram tooling, don't they? So what tooling does Revell have then? They have their own
all the 48 scale monogram stuff.
Yeah.
All the monogram cars. Except the NASCAR kits, they went to Salvino's. Revell, when Revell was bought by the new German company, they sold Atlantis to Round 2. They sold something else to Round 2, and I can't remember what it is right now. Pegasus, they sold that to Round 2. The monogram kits they sold to Salvino. There used to be a model company called Pegs. They do figures, horror figures, and things like that. But they've got all the old monogram tooling except the NASCAR stuff.
Are they vinyl figures? The old figures, or are they?
Don't know.
Sorry.
You know, John?
Yeah, I think so. I think they are vinyl.
John's frozen.
Yeah, John's frozen.
John's frozen out. He's muted as well.
He's holding up his finger.
They are, but I've seen some people do some fantastic work with those old figures.
Yeah, they've done.
You guys can't see me or hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, but you can't see me?
No,
it's like a picture.
You're frozen, John.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, let me bounce out and I'll bounce back in. Hold on.
Yeah, you got the link. This is interesting. The 1/32 scale Hurricane Mark IIB was designed by Radu Brinzen, who also did the 1/32 ME109G series and 1/32 P51D. Those are all excellent kits.
Everyone says the 32nd 109 is fantastic.
You can't get it though, can you? It's not.
It's really hard to get hold of, yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone loves it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the Arado float plane, isn't it?
Those are all old tools too, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
What, the ME109Gs are no tooling, is it?
90s, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was 90s. Early 90s, I think.
I wonder who Radu Brinzen does do other tooling with then, other kits he's designed then. Because the Hurricane Mark IIB is only been released a few months, hasn't it? Well, last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. I didn't know that Copper State models were American, but they got bought out by a foreign company.
Yeah, they were. Now they're in Latvia, right?
Yeah, they were Arizona. That's what Copper State came from.
All right.
Wow. Who would have known that? Tamiya sets the bar in car kit engineering, and it's a shame no one in America can replicate that. But the thing is, though, is that sometimes you just, you hear when Airfix discuss how they're going to release, what they're going to decide to release an aircraft or a tooling of. The first thing they look at is who's done something. Can we improve on it? That's the crux of it. I don't think it's a bad thing. Say for instance, like every single manufacturer now has an F-35B in their collection now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Every single one has a different price point, different, So when people say that, if they could, Tamiya have set the bar for cars, I'm not going to lie, is it Oshima do some cracking cars?
Oh yeah, they've become my favorite.
Cracking motorbikes.
Aoshima do some really good. So their subject matter is really good. The kits they decide to do that Tamiya don't or Revell don't. They do some really cool, off the wall subjects as well. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this came in the mail today. Aoshima's
Nice.
DeLorean.
Oh my gosh!
I was hoping it had brushed something for the body, for the brushed aluminum or steel, whatever it is, but it's just
Aluminum.
smooth.
Yeah, it's aluminum.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to figure out how to make that brushed feel on it.
Yeah,
But it looks
Wire brush.
Brushed stainless steel.
Yeah, brushed stainless steel.
I remember this one was Oshima. This one, But you don't see many Honda City R's, do you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They pick real
Yeah.
sort of off the wall subjects, like they do those. I think they're supposed to be Nissan, like those vans, and they do one with like a big fish on the top of it, and then they do it.
Yeah.
Like it's real cool stuff.
Yeah.
If that's your thing, that you know, some people want to build, you know, proper replica sports cars and stuff, but AOC would do cool stuff.
It even comes with a record blaster and a tennis racket. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I think it's with a Shima. I think it's part of a Shima. Was it RE? Something like that. But it's all the same. Come from the same factory, basically. But you know, it's a cracking little kit. Like, you know, paid 30 quid for it, mine, just because I thought when I first looked at it, I thought it looks like an old Rover Metro, like, you know, the kind of you know, the kind of car that Princess Diana would have driven, if you know what I mean. But not sold for, you know, £500,000, like, you know what I mean. But yeah, but that's there's some random stuff out there. And Tamiya do set a bar. You know, what they released this week? Was it that Porsche they released this week?
Mm-hmm.
Did Tamiya release a Porsche?
No,
Porsche
they released
911.
A what? Sorry.
Porsche 911 GT, something GT, whatever.
and this Fairlady 240Z.
Yeah.
Yes, that's gorgeous.
That's cool.
Beautiful car.
It's got left-hand, right-hand drive, so you can make it either way.
Oh, yeah.
I just got a box from Japan. So.
Wow, you got a box from Japan, because that new Porsche looks phenomenal as well, doesn't it? You know, but as I said, they've gone for it. I bet there's an Ashima version of a Porsche, or not Ashima, or Fujima. There'll be a price point for those that want to do it at a price point.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think that scale model companies do have a fear. Oh, yeah, Revell have done that Hurricane in 30-second scale. We won't bother. They've already done it.
Mm.
You've got to look at it from, you know, and sometimes some kits, like, I know that if I wanted to build a Stuart Honey tank, I would not build that new Mini Art one because it's full of photo etch. I'll build the Academy version. I'll build the Academy version that Airfix have released, if you know what I mean.
Do you want me to say you some ultra glue mask and then you can do the photo etch?
I don't want to do photo etch. I want. What is it? The advert for the car? A choice, not a compromise. Who did that?
I'm going to make him vom. Oh.
And that bombshell, I'll be back in 2 minutes.
I was,
yeah,
I was wrong about the Revell Hurricane. It was a new tool last year.
It was a new tool.
30-second.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you're right, Mus. Like you say with the F-35. So obviously, Tamiya do the 48 scale. They now do 70-second scale, but they're more expensive than other manufacturers. However, they're a better product, but you know that. So if you go, I don't know, Italeri 70-second, or you go Airfix starter set 70-second, well, it's not going to be the Tamiya kit, but it's nowhere near the same price.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter, does it? There's a price point. It doesn't matter that it's the same subject. You pay your money, you take your chance. You know, it's
because as I'm saying, it's like a model show. I would love it if they just asked you what the model is. Don't mention manufacturer, and so you know that people put in an Airfix one and put them in a model show. Let them be judged, okay? Just see whether, because I said, you know, a lot of these things, like if I saw an F-35B, an Italeri version in 1/72, and somebody built me the 1/72 version in Tamiya, I promise you would not be able to see the difference. The only difference would be is the price.
I don't know.
You don't know? You think there's a big
You
difference? Italeri's
Yeah,
version was boxed by Tamiya, wasn't it? The idea was the Italeri version was boxed by Tamiya.
Yeah, but Tamiya boxed quite a lot of Italeri kits.
Well, Alex did a whole comparison series, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The you would be able to tell.
You were able to tell, would you?
Yeah.
In what way? What would you able to tell between an Italeri one and a? I'm talking the version of.
Yeah, Italeri, the RAM tape is, well, it's like massive welds on the. They just massively overrepresented it. So the Tamiya one, it's just got the finesse. Actually, the Academy one is probably the best value. All of them. It gives a good balance.
It's like
But yeah,
that's ram tape, isn't it? Everyone, when it comes to the F-35B, they always talk about the ram tape, don't they? What's the best way of doing ram tape? Decals, or masking it up and doing it yourself? You know, there's so much discussion about the ram tape. If you look online for the forums,
good tooling. That's the best way of doing it.
Yeah. Fair enough. I love Mobius line.
It's like with ram tape. So you can, again, it's a lot of it's down to the modeler and how much you're going for accuracy or visual interest or whatever. So if you've got very pronounced ram tape, for example, well, you can fix that because you can sand it.
Yeah.
However, you're creating a whole load of work for yourself by doing that. But if you're willing to put that work in, then you will get it looking like ram tape, not like Alex said, like these big thick welds, you know. But you've got to be prepared to put the work in, or just go, you know what, bollocks to it. I'll just go for a visual interest instead of accuracy as such at scale. But like this weekend, I had the Airfix Shannon on our stand as a work in progress. People didn't think it was an Airfix kit. Unless they'd seen the videos, they were like, that's not the Airfix kit. I was like, it is the Airfix kit. It just depends how much you want to mess around with it, you know?
Well, yeah, you know, you've gone way and above standard on that one. It's fantastic. You know, it's...
there was actually a guy there.
Pace, isn't it?
There was a guy there, and he works for the RNLI, and he's the leading authority for the RNLI on Shannon class lifeboats. Like, he's published papers all over the world. He looked at it, and he loved it, but he could only pick two things. So I said to him, pick it up, tear it apart, because if anyone's going to know, it's him, isn't it? Yeah. And the only thing, so some antennas I added on the mast, apparently they had slightly different lengths on the real one, but on the reference pictures I got, when you zoom in, it kind of pixelates, and they're so thin, it's very difficult to see the difference. And apparently on the back, on most of them now, on the back where the life belts are, there's a metal plate with a light on the back. So what he did on the Saturday night, in between Saturday and Sunday, obviously, he stayed up most of the night and he's burnt off 2 discs for me that's got all of the original blueprints, like everything. Like, I can't use them now for the one I've done because it's too late. But if I did another one, I've got all the original stuff. About 4,500 photographs.
Wow. What do you think of the colour of the orange and the blue? Did you think that was a spot on then, did he?
Yeah, he did. He said, who makes that paint? Because I had the outlaw, you know, your don't touch thing next to it.
Oh, you had the, what are they called? Yeah, these ones. You had these out, did you? Do they work all right?
Yeah. So a lot of people scan the QR code.
Oh, you're a star, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, they're up in the shop as well, Moss.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. I just wanted a business card that you would have a use for. That's what it was.
Yeah. A lot of people scanned it because they were because I had that there and I had the Bushmaster. You know, this little 20-second Bushmaster I did with Outlaw.
Yeah.
They were scanning the codes. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! That's fantastic. I'm glad. We did ask and we went around and we got the proper BS codes for that. But then again, when you talk to somebody, they reckon the Humber orange is spot on, but if it took 3 or 4 coats to cover the grey, you know. So, but yeah, I'm chuffed to bits because I've just got the notification. It's just gone through customs now. I've ordered another 40 bottles of everything, like, you know, it cost me a fortune to get it over by plane, mind, to get them back in stock because they've sold so well. You know, I'm looking at, you know, it's knowing what to get, like, not the Admiralty Grey, which is what they reckon the floor is done, the dark Admiralty Grey. No one's bought that, but I think because it's dark Admiralty Grey, everybody's got a dark Admiralty Grey already in their paint selection.
And
but the orange and the blue,
I learned so much about the Shannon this weekend off this guy. I was chatting to him for about 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
it all depends on the particular boat.
Right.
So, for example, on the hull, so the earlier Shannons that produced had the white at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I did with my
Yeah. Now they're either black or red oxide. If they're kept in water, so they're not in a lifeboat station, if they're sort of in a harbour or whatever, then they're red oxide. If they're kept in a boathouse, then they're black. There's so many different sort of variants to it, you know.
Yeah, the Exmouth one that I did is white, and they just had this one bit of black at the bottom. It's right at the front, and she said, she goes, we're quite proud of our unique hull, but I know the red anti-fouling in it because they want to keep the barnacles off the boat.
That's
so
right, why they do it.
Highly toxic, by the way. Highly toxic. That red anti-fouling is highly toxic. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get that in your lungs.
How do you think it keeps stuff off the boat?
Yeah.
Did you see the charity video?
Breathing that in off the hull, you got bigger problems.
Did you see the charity video that was done with the boat that you modelled in the background? Somebody was raising money for the RNLI, some celebrity. Was he a footballer from England or something?
Don't know.
It's on YouTube at the moment.
Whose boat was it?
It's the same boat that you've modelled.
Me?
The numbers match on the hull. It's right behind him.
Who, me?
So it's got to be. You know the boat you modelled. Well, the real thing is behind the skies doing the video for charity.
Was my model on there as well? Was it?
No. It's just the real boat.
Make sure that was out of shot.
I don't care about that. I was true. Like when I took it down there, they were so chuffed with it because they put it near the display. Okay, I've got it all put in the display. You know, built by Moz Models.
So how many kits did they have in their shop? Because every boatyard's got a shop in it.
About 12, I think. Oh, the RNLI were the biggest purchaser of the first order. And then I think Jadlan was second, but they didn't order that many. But then the price has gone up now. You see, the price has gone up. Not from Airfix, but I've seen a lot more companies putting the price up. It was a great day. I was treated really well down there. They use it as their way of what's it called? Promoting the. Come on, let me get it bigger so you can see it. Yeah, so mine's on display in the shop.
Lovely.
I'll share the screen a minute so you can see it. Oh, WhatsApp, go away, WhatsApp. WhatsApp in me. Where's the square screen? I'll present. A share screen. Window. There you go. There it is there on display in their shop. So that's at the RNLI shop in Exmouth. I've got a display done by a guy in Bristol. The boat isn't secure, but the actual, what's it called, is. And there is one mistake on it because I've seen that boat many, many times in Exmouth. You know, when you go out fishing, you see it there. And I thought it was white and black. It's not as black than white, but who cares? It's all done, and that's where it's on display there for them. And they're really pleased with it as well. So, promoted the model club I was in. Built by Moz Models, member of ISCA. So it's down there now, and hopefully people will buy the kit and want to build it. So, it has a second life. Not collecting dust in my front yard, if my front room, So, but yeah, you're right though. It's I think one of the things I'm really pleased of is the orange was spot. The orange was spot on. The only thing was that the yellow was slightly off. If you did the yellow stripe, if you want to do the yellow stripe, you could use that yellow. But I went for the new uniforms because I think people would use the decal and then use that yellow on the actual overalls that they wear, or the waterproofs, which are totally different to what they wear when they're on the rubber boats. You know, the smaller, what are they called? You know,
like the inshore stuff.
Yeah, the inshore lifeboats. Yeah, because they're like more like water boot. They're like more like wetsuits, really. But I had a great day down there. They took me around and showed me what they do, and they got I love to get the launcher for it as well and build the launcher for it, made by Supercat in Honiton, or Dunkerswell. But all been designed. So Yeah, I'm chuffed to bits for you, mate. I'm glad that the people were liking the paint. So, Radu, there's some more information here. Design start. They did the G10 in 2014, the G24 in 22. Revell previously released the Hasegawa G24, so somebody knows their
Well, stuff.
lines. Yeah. AMT and Monogram has so many cool car kits, used, uncool car, muscle cars, hot rods, etc. But the quality is very bad. That is quite sad. I wish they had Tamiya quality. Monogram and AMT really don't do nothing now, do they? They're like gone in the wind, haven't they? They don't release anything new because it's all
round 2 now.
You're round 2. What are pricing like for Revell over in America then? Are they quite similar to the English? Because they have got their own distribution over there, so it should be cheaper for you.
Car kits are around $30.
Yeah, that's £26 here. Yeah.
How much is the 32nd scale Spitfire in America?
The Revell one?
Yeah, the Revell one, the Mark 2B, Mark 2A rather.
$54.99.
$54.
Yeah.
That's a bit dearer than here. It's about £30, isn't it? Here, £31, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much the cheapest Revell kit at my local shop, and there's just one here in Frederick.
Yeah,
25. I'm looking at $25, pretty much no matter what the kit.
That's for Revell.
Revell, but also pretty much AMT and MPC as well.
Yeah,
but yeah, you're starting at 25.
What do MPC sell in America?
Or the car stuff.
It's car stuff. I mean, Fred, I would be interested in your assessment, but there's MPC, and then there's I think AMT, and then there's Revell. So for kit quality, I have found MPC kits that are just terrible. What do you think, Fred?
Yeah, most of them are pretty bad, but they're all old molds. They're round 2 as well, so they're trying to redo some of the MPC, putting new things in there. Round 2 is making an effort to fix the MPC, AMT and MPC kits.
Yeah,
make them more buildable. So, they're getting better. They're still going to be the same price, $25 to $35. Revell do have the best automotive kits right now. They released a Mach 1 not that long ago, the 71 Mach 1 that they scanned the whole car. They really put the work into it. So, yeah, Revell's car kits are still good kits. In the 60s, AMT was at the top of the heap, and MPC, and then Revell. But they slowly changed as the years went on.
MPC released a lot of Airfix kits back in the 70s and 80s as well.
Yeah, they were the main distributor for the US.
Yeah.
I mean, Airfix tried very hard to come up with different companies to sell models through the US. They had Airfix by Craftmaster and Airfix Corporation of America, and then MPC came in as their main agent, and they sold virtually everything that Airfix produced into the US. And AMT, didn't AMT have some sort of arrangement where some of the kids floated back into Europe?
I think you're right. I think there's something. But Airfix are not risk averse of selling the plastic to these companies. I keep saying this. I'm still waiting for an Edard weekend edition, or whatever edition it is. When it comes limited edition, with an Airfix plastic bag inside, with Airfix plastic kit inside.
They've done it before.
Yeah, I think Edard are going to look and say. I tell you, the one that they should do is the Bristol. The Blenheim. Sorry.
Yeah.
If Edard got the Blenheim, I reckon they could smack so much resin and photo etch in that. Yeah. That could be a platinum kit.
The 48th one, especially.
Yeah.
Or the B17.
B17. That will have broader reach for them. That's a good shout, actually, isn't it?
B17G.
The 48th Bulldog would be a really good kit for Edouard to do a properly packed version of.
That's got Edward's name all over it, isn't it?
It has, yeah.
Because
Imagine
they
the
do a lot
reservation.
of biplanes already, and
Can you
with
imagine
a
the news
engine
sheet
and
for that?
photo etch and stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
See,
good.
Harry Houdini, is it Houdini from Australia? He's not
Yeah.
impressed with
Yeah.
Mr. Bulldog, is
No,
he?
he wasn't. I saw his video.
Yeah, the engine is so complex for what it is, he's saying. Because it's a lot of parts for that engine. Oh, when it's done up, it looks great, but
Yeah, but isn't that the same guy he's moaning about the complexity of the engine, but he also moans that Tamiya kits are too simple.
yeah. Yeah.
You can't talk to me about engine complexity, and John Alec knows what I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
This is the Border Models Kate, Nakajima Kate. That is a fucking complex engine. Excuse my French. But good God.
Was it bad, was it?
It goes together really well, provided you read at least 10 steps ahead in the instructions and understand the mind of the guy who designed it.
And read the instructions upside down as well.
Yeah,
It does
if you
help.
don't,
It
you
really
can
does
get yourself
help.
into a real mess like I did.
Yeah.
Zukimura Skyraider's like that. It's got the pistons inside the engine cylinders.
Oh
And
my gosh.
it's got all of that.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's got all of the hasn't obviously got the wiring, but it's got all of the points for the wiring. So it's going to be a doddle to do the ignition harness. So it's beautiful. But
Yeah.
the instructions were kind of written like, well, you obviously understand this, so we'll just put a rough guide.
Alex, can you hold that engine up again?
Tell you what, I'll put it on the other camera.
It looks almost like it's made out of resin, doesn't it?
Oh, I'll do it.
Look at it.
That's beautiful. Absolutely
isn't it?
beautiful.
Yeah.
I can see it's plastic now, but it did look like it was resin when you first held it up.
I mean, you've got the firewall at the back of the engine. You've got everything.
It's a
How many
gorgeous.
parts was that? Seriously, was that like one sprue of parts, was it, basically, and 20 odd parts?
Almost. Yeah.
Is it worth doing it? This is the thing, it's going to get covered by
Mine's not getting covered.
Oh God, you can always display it open, can't you?
Yeah, because it's got all of the.
Even Airfix did that with the Retool Gladiator. You can actually display the engine by opening the hatches. Because both the cowlings are in halves, aren't they? You can just open them both up.
No, you're pissing me. That cannot be right. Amazon US has the Revell 1/32 scale Spitfire for $29. You having a laugh?
Let me look it up right now. Yeah.
It wasn't that cheap, was
Are you
it?
sure it's not the 48 scale one?
I'm gonna say $30 for a Revell. Come on, everybody!
48
Jump
scale
on
one's
that.
about
I
28
had to be honest, I had a look on our Amazon UK, and they're all roughly around about 30 quid.
Really?
1/32 kit, yeah. The only exceptions are the F-18 Hornet, which is an absolute dog of a kit.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible.
Should come with a speed dial for $999
Yeah.
The
It's big,
Samaritan.
or a defibrillator, one of the two.
Yeah. The 148th is. I can get the 148th for like $21. The only one of the 32nd scale that I see here is the level 5.
Yeah.
Level 5 Revell Technique model kit. Oh, it's got the electronics and stuff. Okay, so that's
Yeah,
not-
that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
So they've got the 1/32 Hurricane 2B there for $59.99, which is about the price in this country, isn't it? 55 quid for the 1/32 Hurricane.
Yeah, that's a normal price for that.
Yeah.
No, it's $30. I can get the Revell kit number 03927 level 5 1/32 Spitfire for $29.99.
Wow.
Free delivery.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me because I picked one up in the Hobbycraft 50% off sale, so I got mine for like £16.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
Revell have fair margins. I mean, the one thing about, and again, if Revell does have a renaissance, it would be great because they do have a good business network. So, they already have that established, I don't know what it's like for you, Brett, but I mean, Revell are really easy to do business with.
They are. They're very friendly, very helpful.
Yep, unlike Airfix.
Right.
So if Revell could get it right, what I'd like is Airfix quality, design, ICM's QC, and Revell's business model, and buy everything Revell.
Yeah. Just on a note of that, I think that's going to have to change. The trouble is, see, Revell have got so many fingers in pies, and because it's under the Revell name, so they've got the drones, they've got their 3D puzzles, they've got their watercolor thing, they've got their everything Revell. With Hornby and Airfix, you've got Hornby, you've got Scale Electrics, you've got Hornby Trains, you've got Airfix, you've got Umbro. So they're using that. So it's different. I think they all got their own different terms and conditions. They need to sort that out. I speak to a few model shops who say they'd rather catch their foreskin in their flies and use the portal, the Hornby, to buy kits. They even go to another company, a third-party wholesaler, to buy their model kits. And they don't buy direct off Hornby. I can't think is it Gauge Master or something? They go to Gauge Master to buy their kits from now, because to get it from Hornby they're pissing in the wind. So, can I just quickly go back to somebody saying about Harry Houdini? The guy's a legend. I watch all of his videos. I think he's funny as he's brilliant. And I get him about his Airfix and everything. He doesn't build tamiya because it's a case of putting it in a bag for you to give it a shake and you got a kit. I get that. But he does. He does make some good content, and he's funny as well. He's actually very, very good. Or this waffle, it's brilliant. It's great. Has anyone the Airfix BMW 3.5 CSL in 124 scale? Is it a good kit? That's the motorbike, isn't it?
No, it's a car.
The car? Did they do a car? A BMW car? When did Airfix do a BMW car? It was a Hella car, wasn't it?
Don't know.
I think Airfix boxed Hella BMW cars. They did a BMW bike, didn't they? Because they did an aerial. They did a.
They did They did a BMW R75.
R75. Sorry, I saw the 3.5 there. Sorry, 75 R75. But Harry's also one hell of a shipbuilder. Yeah, I know he's a hell of a shipbuilder. Good for him. I'll tell you, I can do some of them. So no idea.
1992 apparently.
Well, that Hella kit, that Airfix one.
Airfix kit. It doesn't say anything about Hella. It's only been released once.
Nothing about Hella on there.
I've never built a Hella kit. They're just not over here. Brett, do you see Hella kits in shops that you go to, or your own, or what?
I can get them in, but no one's ever asked for them.
Well, for Hella,
so I've never brought them in.
Hella are the most fantastic model kit company because they have flappy boxes.
The last model I finished was a Hella kit, and it was the Citroen H-Van. And you know what? You know what you're getting, don't you? It was challenging. It turned out right in the end. But when I open a box, because I've never built a Hella kit before, when I open a box, their box and everything is amazing. You get it, it's like a flip top box, and it's all wrapped in nice black tissue paper with a door hanger. And I was like, this is amazing. And then
like a Rolex or something.
Started putting it together. I was like, it's not amazing.
What you meant to do, Luke, is take all of that, throw the kit away, and then you got the really nice box.
Yeah, but it's a really nice box and really nicely presented. It felt special, And then you start
until you saw the kit.
yeah, and then realise it's not that special.
I think it's how to do some really good subjects, and like some of their older stuff, like they do the Potes bomber and a Hankel HE 112 72nd scale. Do some really cool stuff, but it's like you say, you know what you're getting. It's going to be raised panel lines. If you can live with that, or you want to do the work, do some work on the interior and stuff. They do make nice little kits, but. I mean, I sell them, but only in the second-hand section.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, Luke. I didn't mean to try and choke you there.
The Airfix BMW 3.5 will be a Nikimo or Otaki kit. Might be a Mari kit too. I don't remember that ever coming out, that BMW kit.
I've got a link in the private chat.
I do remember seeing that.
Okay.
They released a lot of 24th and 25th scale cars in the late 80s.
Yeah, but they never told them though. That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah.
They weren't originally. Yeah, loads of them. I mean, I've looked on ScaleMates and it doesn't say that they're sourced from anywhere else, but I've got a feeling they are.
They are sourced from somewhere else. Yeah, I think.
I think they might be either AMT or they might be Japanese. Maybe, maybe more A. Maybe, yeah.
It looks like an Isai kit. To be fair, 1980 was Isai. Fujima did one, 1984.
Could be Fujimi.
Yeah.
It does. Ataki did quite a few, and it did include the scoop there at the front. That was 1978, the first one. They did it through the 80s too.
Wow.
That would have been just before the first takeover when they released that.
When did we take over? 1996 or
1981, I think they got took over by General Mills, didn't they?
Yeah, I think you're right there. Otaki kit, definitely the same, isn't it? It's definitely the same that. Yeah, I think you're right there. Definitely.
But that range of 25th and 24th scale cars were quite extensive. But I don't think they tooled any of them themselves.
Isn't it funny? If you type in BMW 3.5, it doesn't come up with the Airfix kit in 1-to-1 24th. Only comes up with Isai, Fujimi, Gunzo Sangyo, the Italeri. The Italeri one looks very similar. Oh, hang on.
Mr.
Hang on. That Isai kit.
I mean, they could all be the same. It'd be interesting to go through and do some research and see if the screws are all the same for all of them.
Yeah. Well, that
Isai screws,
that Isai kit was basically hauled out for every single model company you can think of.
Yeah. Italeri do that a lot as well.
Look at this. Isai, this is for 3.5 BMW. You've got Isai, Revell Isai Scalecraft, Ertel, all the way through. Then you've got the Gunzi Sangyo, whatever it is. Then you got Revell. Then you got Italeri back in 2023. So last year's kit from Italeri
was an ancient one. Yeah, that's it.
It was an ancient one.
So who was that originally sourced through?
What do you mean?
Was that an Ataki original? Cool.
No. This is Isai's version. We're just assuming whether it's Isai or. So if I copy this link here into here and then go bang and go boom, that's the Otica, and they were released by all these sort of companies. But does it? Yeah. So
that's 24th, isn't it? Yeah. I reckon that's the sprue that's in the Airfix kit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surpassed. New tool from Nikimo, and then that Mari one.
Oh, Nishimo did. Right, I've got you.
1, 2, 3. You got 3 versions there from 3 different manufacturers.
I bet it's the same sprue.
Yeah, it could well be. I don't know, my friend. You'll have to. I tell you what. Send us pictures of it, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to suggest, really. But to be really honest with you, when Airfix reboxed something, they didn't just rebox crap, did they? I know they
Maguire and
reboxed
McGuinness. I think when Maguire and McGuinness had them, I think they did box a lot of crap from abroad.
did they?
I mean, those 48 scale aircraft, they were from RA and they were terrible.
Yeah.
Mind you,
Well, they even reboxed something that came out by Matchbox, didn't they?
well, they were the same sprues, weren't they?
Yeah.
Because that's why the Spitfire was a Mark 8 and nothing else.
Yeah. Incredible. There you go. So looking at this timeline here between the three of them, they're all 3.5 Cs.
Yeah.
So whatever which one, it could be that Airfix had reboxed it, obviously. So fair play. Yes, look. Any other questions? Put them in the chat. We got half an hour left. So if you've got any questions you want to ask us, please do. If you're American, say hi to Brett and hi to John. They're in from America, and then the rest of us are from England. Good old Blighty, as we would say.
Blighty.
Aisha, you're having a pacemaker fitted. Oh, good luck to you on that one, sweet. Hope it goes well for you.
Oh, wow.
Wow, pacemaker for Aisha. Wow.
All the best to you.
Yeah, I get that. Do you know what? I was talking to Airfix about this, Celtic. I said, you need to release that because they've got the original one in their museum.
Yeah.
If they can reverse engineer the glass on that bomb bug, they can bloody well reverse engineer that Fergie tractor. You know, just do it. Do you know what? I was half inclined. I've got a friend who's got a 3D scanner now. There was a Fergie tractor, just missing one part, on eBay for £390.
Yeah, I know it was.
I was going to buy it. I was going to buy that kit, and then I was going to get it done in 3D resin and say, but then
there's an Airfix Vauxhall Victor that's been on eBay for £200 for like 4 year.
4 year now, yeah. Well, the bomb bug was up there for 325, wasn't it? For months and months. I think it's still there, to be honest. In original baggie. Original baggie. I'm not talking drugs here. I'm talking kits, but in a baggie.
You
Yeah.
have to read between the lines, Moss.
Read between something, I'll tell you. Yeah. eBay, they had one up the other day, a Ferguson tractor. They had one built as well, and they wanted £500 for it.
Mm-hmm.
Ferguson tractor. That's implements. Wrong one. Ferguson tractor. Oh, you twat. Ferguson tractor. That's what I want. There we go.
1949 it came out, didn't it?
It was our first kit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Airfix, Ferguson tractor. What they got for sale at the moment? Nah, nothing. Go to the sold listings. There you go. There you go. That's the one that was built. Buy it now price. Somebody bought it for $195, according to this.
Yeah.
What's that?
Moss.
It wasn't me, mate. It wasn't me. I promise you.
It's 3D Gizmo doing a wheel for it.
Yeah, I would have bought that. 195. That's how much they wanted for it.
Yeah.
There you go. All built up and everything. That's the original Airfix tractor T20. 1 to 20 of scale as well. So I'll probably do it in one. I'll do it in 1 30-second scale just to piss people off, like.
When you think about the technology they had in the late 40s, it's not that bad, is it?
No, they said it goes together quite well. You've got the what's it called there? The tank on top was in 2 halves. You got the battery there, which you could do. I don't think it was too bad at all, to be honest.
I mean, originally when it was used as a sale icon for Massey Ferguson, there were workers at Airfix that were building them and then sending them to Massey's for the Fells units.
Mm.
Well, that's what you call proper tool making.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Even the tyres look pretty good, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like Edward to do the Airfix Javelin.
Yeah.
The Airfix Javelin, which was a hella tool.
Well, I didn't know that.
I don't know how
It's
you make
a
dogs.
hella tool, yeah.
I just like the way it
T3,
looks.
isn't it?
If we've got that, we'll get rid of that one in a minute. Well, they're not showing them now. There was a few for sale at one point, and they wanted beg a box for it. But I think it's lovely. I think it's really lovely.
Edward could do a set for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No.
That's a PE sheet would be 3 foot long.
Mm.
You'd have I mean, how many resin parts would Edward do for that? Probably all of it.
Yeah, how many parts does it have?
Yeah. Well, like you said, the radio at the front is just one block of plastic, not even a
No.
wavy line in it or anything, is there? So yeah. According to Scalemates, Airfix did a BMW M1 road car in 1980 that was their mode, not a tuning. We don't. Yeah,
No,
but the thing
that
is,
was not. Airfix never tooled any of those cars. They did do an M1.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that probably would be another Aoshima or a Taki kit.
Yeah. And the trouble is, Scalemates does have its limitations
Yeah,
unless somebody links it
yeah.
to another kit.
Yeah, but you've also got to remember that Scalemates is a little bit like Wikipedia. The information that's on it is uploaded by the general public.
Yeah.
So you have to cross-reference everything. You can't just, I mean, when you're using Wikipedia as a research tool, you've got to cross-reference everything.
Absolutely.
And I did mean the 48 Javelin, not the 72nd.
Yeah.
Yes, Russell.
Fireball XL5.
Yeah.
Hi all, just started the Airfix 7 class lifeboat. Any tips? Don't do it by the instructions.
Yeah.
Do the
Email
hole.
Luke.
Yeah.
Email Luke. Luke will give you the instructions.
Yes.
Did you check your?
Well, it's funny you should say that.
Yeah.
So the guy I was speaking to at the weekend, he builds, as well as working for RNLI, he builds lifeboats in 12 scale and RCs them from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
So he's built a 12 scale Shannon from scratch, and it's amazing. It's awesome. But he bought it on the Sunday. He's currently building the 7 class in 72nd scale, but he's RCing it. So he's had like all the propellers and the shafts and everything, you know, bespoke made in brass.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. So I've got the 7 class, so I'll be starting that soon. So I'll let you know how I get on.
Is this part 2? Is it?
Yeah, I'll build it in a similar way as I've done the Shannon. I'll like detail it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, if you want to do the hull, do the sides, then do the back, then put the bit underneath. Apparently, don't match it to the
base.
base.
Yeah.
Do the sides first, then put the base on basically last, is what they're telling me. So.
Apparently, you do the 7 class in the same manner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I do believe that most of those 124 cars were originally designed to be motorized. But does anyone do a model of the Westland Wappet?
The Wapiti.
Mm.
My God.
No one does. I don't think anyone does, do they?
I can't
In fact,
think of them in mind, no.
I've not seen one in a museum either. I've been to quite a few. You may name some where there's one? I can't think of one.
Apparently, Look Graph did one in 2022.
Oof. There you go. Right then. Okay, Jacob Deadman. I'm just finishing the 7 class. Make sure to dry fit most steps for the hull match. The sides of the deck before the bottom of the hull. That's what we're saying, yeah. So that's your problem. So, yeah. Graham Coxon. I believe I saw that Shannon at Seaburn's bus rally. They had a charity stall there. Does that make sense to you, that, Luke?
No.
No. Okay. Probably then, if that's where it is. Yeah, so make sure you dry fit most steps, and for the whole match, the sides, the whole, yeah. That's what I was told by a few people. So
Don't blame the kit. Always dry fit.
yeah, that's right.
Right.
I sent you a sticker to it. Yeah, that sticker went really well. You know, I think I got 200 prints. I've only got about 10 left. I think of that sticker. I got to get some more in. I think because I was I like making stickers and door hangers. Any other questions in the chat? Let us know. I don't got anything to discuss really. I'm pretty dry. Well, not dry at the minute, but you know what I mean.
You are far from that.
Far from dry.
Slip off the show, Moss.
If you don't, if all you know, I had a scan last week and a CT scan, and there was a concern about my colon being rather enlarged. So
we moved on, have we?
yeah, so I'm laughing about it now, but I'll tell you, it's been 4 days of worrying like fuck, what's wrong with my colon. And today I had to have an enema, and then wait 5 minutes, hold it in, then let it all out. Then I had to have a procedure, which, looking at the screen, the camera looked like it was going up Willy Wonka's tunnel in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Without the lumper, like, you know. And then I was talked through that they haven't, there's not cancer there, so but there's a huge inflammation that they need to go looking at, and so they took some biopsies, and I'll wait 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, to get the test results back to find out what's going on. So, but it has been 3 or 4 days of worry. Do you know what I mean? It's like what got me is that they had the CT scan for my hernia, all good, and then I didn't hear nothing. And then I think it was on the Thursday, I got a phone call from this hospital saying, we need you in to stick a camera at your bum so we can see what's wrong with your colon. I was like, what? I was like, well, what's this about? Oh, yeah, your doctor, you had a CT scan, the doctor's recommending you have this to be to check something outside you. I'm like, whoa. And then 2 hours later, I get a call from the secretary of this doctor telling me, oh, just to let you know, we found something on the CT scan. You need to go in. I go, no, freaking no now. They've already phoned me, you know. But they got me in hell of a quick. So, you know, all hail NHS. You know, they see something, they've got me in within 3 or 4 days. So I'm not going to knock the NHS.
Sorry.
So when did you have this? When did you have the scan done, Moss?
Pardon?
When did you have this procedure done? Was it today?
So I had the scan done.
No, the procedure.
Today.
Yeah. Was it today?
Yeah, today. So that's why I've been. Yeah, I'm very loose.
Yeah, I get that. So the guy did. I'm being serious here. The guy who did that procedure. Did he say anything to you before you left?
Before I left.
Yeah.
Do your nappy up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's what gets you. It's like they give you this robe to put on, then you put on these green underpants.
Yeah.
With a hole in the back. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, but if he did the procedure and he didn't see anything on the visual monitor, and which meant he didn't tell you anything before you left, it's probably nothing too serious.
No, they've taken.
It might just be an irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah, well, there's a very.
You're not pregnant, Moz.
Yes.
No, you're not pregnant.
When you go up so far, it's lovely and pink. All right, but when you bring it back down a bit, it was very red, is what he said, and that's all I needed to know. But anyway, and yes, don't worry, they did not find that mosquito part that I lost in 2 years ago. That's gone. That mosquito part is gone. I'll never find that bloody Bombay again. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen that film, Jackass 1?
No, I don't watch that. Oh yeah, that's the film. Yeah.
The guy went to the doctor with a Matchbox toy car stuck on his arm.
Yeah. I assure you there was no any Matchbox car.
The doctor's face was a picture.
There might have been a bear cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I
Chris
just the enema was just that was the worst thing about it was the enema.
Was it?
Yeah, sure.
I remember like years ago, true story, right? We won't be discussing, but an operation down below, and because I had an infection, really bad infection, and I had to fly back from Aberdeen down to here. And the doctor came round after 4 days, and he said to me, he goes, "Have you had a poo yet?" And I said, "No, I haven't actually." He goes, "Oh, you're probably bunged up from the morphine and the stuff." Okay.
Yeah.
So at times with a woman called Karen, and she wrote this prescription, and she came back from the chemist with this massive bottle. I swear to you, it must have been that size, but brown, for something to make you loose, right? And it said, "Take 2 cupfuls now, take 2 cupfuls an hour later, then go." Basically, well, I took these 2 cupfuls, and I promise you, within 10 minutes, there was a movement. And I crawled to the bathroom. Yeah, crawled to the bathroom, and I swear to you, I was like this. As soon as I pulled my pants down, it was like bang, like that. Honestly, pebble dashed the fucking lot. And 2 cups. They wanted me to take 4 of this stuff. I would have gone thin. I think if I'd taken any.
Sounds
more.
like Pickalax, Moz.
It was hell of a stuff, man. And
Yeah, I know.
I was that worried I might have drunk it when I was pissed. I threw it away. Just in case. I ain't having that in my house. Not a chance. Thinking so I was there 15 minutes thinking, when's it going to end? You know what I mean? Yeah.
I tell you what, Musk, I did some work experience at Reckitt Coleman, and one of the products, this was in microbiology QC.
Yeah.
And one of the products they make is Senecot, which is a laxative.
Oh yeah.
And they use senna leaves, and we have to test the raw materials when they come in, and after they've gone through ethylene oxide fumigation. Ethylene oxide is a really toxic gas that they use. It disperses quite quickly to fumigate stuff, to reduce stuff. We did microbiological counts before and after, and before. Even the most diluted plate was unreadable because it was just full of like growing horrible stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff after ethylene oxide fumigation was still crawling with stuff. So it doesn't surprise me.
No, So that's the thing, you know. That was, I've never had an enema before, so I was laying there on the side of my bed, and she goes, "Try and keep in for 5 minutes." Pardon?
People pay good money to have enemas regularly.
Do they really?
Oh,
I got a feeling there. She goes,
I didn't know it was on your bucket list, Moss.
No, it certainly wasn't last Thursday, but it soon came on my bucket list, I tell you. Find out what's wrong with me now.
The road to Wellville.
Like, when you don't know this thing, your mind goes fucking weird, doesn't it? You get aches and pains that you didn't know you had. You know, got pain up here now. What underneath me rib? Oh, it's cancer. You know what I mean? Because that's what it said. And the thing was, if the doctor rang me up and said we're going to recommend, but no, I had this woman ringing up from another department saying we've got to have this ectoskectomy scopy thing, whatever, and because the doctor's seen something large in your colon, and I'm like, so there I am thinking,
I found that mosquito part.
Yeah. But yeah, having that enema, and she goes like, "Get your phone out," she said. I'm like, "Why? Can we take a picture?" No. I want you to set a timer for 5 minutes. So there I was in my green pants, like, you know, with the hole in the back. She stuck up this enema, this liquid up there. Like, hold it, don't you go, she said. You've got to let it work for 5 minutes.
Bloody
Crumbs. After 3.5 minutes, I'm thinking I'm dribbling here or something. Anyway,
You're the leaky cauldron.
She comes back in. She goes, "How long have you done now?" I said 3.5 minutes, or another minute and a half. Go in the toilet, and then once you've done, just pull the orange cord. Was that to flush? And that's to tell me you're done. The flush is on the back. She said, "Oh, fair enough." I said. So it gets in there. 5 minutes are gone, and I laying on my side. I sat up thinking, "Am I going to get there?" So I get there, and I went to push and nothing. The next thing, I'm pissing from my ass. Like, "Way, there it is!" Like, you know? Crumbs. But anyway,
Were you in the disabled stall or what?
Yeah,
Don't
just
you have a
handles and
special
everything, mate. It was really comfortable. Yeah, really comfortable.
It's the hottest Vindaloo he'd ever had.
Oh, I'll tell you, mate. And then, yeah, I said I did procedure, and to be really honest with you, it was they offer you gas and air. I didn't feel anything. It was weird because when you see it all on camera, all on the screen,
Yeah.
and they go, "We're going to take a biopsy of this clean bit here, which is all nice and pink." He said, like chicken thigh. I thought, oh, interesting. So he takes a you know, a cutting, then blood. You see blood, and oh, bloody hell, it's going to come out later. Then he does another one. Then he pulls it back down a bit to where the red bit is, and then he cuts another bit off. But I felt that one. Didn't feel the other two. And it felt like it went up my spine, like the pain went up my spine. So I kind of cleansed then. And then the carbon dioxide, they use carbon dioxide, don't they, to open it up, don't they? Crumbs, yeah. And then I'm picking the camera up now. There's carbon dioxide escaping, you know what I mean?
You're Mr. Methane.
Didn't smell a bit, mate. Didn't smell a bit. But when you can see the insides of yourself, you know, it's fucking weird, isn't it? You know, fucking weird. But yeah, that was my. So I hope it's been fun for you guys. End of the show. Talking about my procedure today. Yeah.
Next week.
Did they have the carbon monoxide alarm beside you?
No, I didn't. No. That was in the other room, I think.
Was it?
Yeah. I came back. You know, I feel a bit invaded, to be honest.
It sounds slightly better, Moss. If you've ever had a urethral catheter,
horrible.
That's an interesting procedure.
Yeah, that'll bring tears to your eyes.
Yes, me.
Yeah,
The silver bullet.
How many nurses does it take to put one in?
Yeah. I know.
I had one, and it was because they use local anaesthetic and stuff, and it was just like, you know, you may feel a little bit of a coldness.
Discomfort.
It's just like, but actually, it was like, to start with, it's fine, and so it's like, right, we're now just going to go like into the bladder, and you've got a sphincter there, and it's like, you may feel this. Bloody hell!
Yeah.
It's like somebody getting inside you and then stabbing you. Not good.
You can imagine my Substack this week is going to be talking about my first prostate. I've had a prostate exam. Obviously, everybody has, isn't it? The only thing I can really, I wouldn't say complain about, but I wish the only thing I have a little grimace about was the fact that the lube was cold. They could have at least warmed it up a little bit. You know what I mean? It was like ice, you know. But
what's the title of your second book then, Moss? I suppose
that mosquito part wasn't even there, or something like that, you know. So that's one. Over the years, I've lost many parts in this room and in my old workshop, and they kind of come out. I do find them in the end, but that mosquito part, I've never found it. Honestly, even that 148 Yamaha quad bike, took 2 or 3 months, but I found that part in the end. Because remember, I don't hoover this room at all. It's all about sweeping up, and then I get the hoover and but I check everything first. But I've never found that mosquito part. I think that is the most weirdest thing. So what's this new book? I shit myself. No, honestly, it wasn't that. Yeah, it's just if you listen. When you listen, us lads, we don't go doctors, do we? We don't. We are, don't we? But if we could make a bit of a joke out of it, I know it's a serious subject because honestly, for the last 4 days, with everything else going in with my life, with arguments and stuff, this really did hit home that there's a lot more to fucking life than bollocks. You know what I mean? Yeah. To be really fair on you, and you guys know what I'm going through anyway. But when you're in on the Thursday and they got you in on the Monday, they have a serious concern. And to be really fair with you, I can't fault it apart from the cold lube. Everything else was, it was really good. So, So when I say, like I said, the biopsies will be back in a week, and I'll find out if it's something that I need to have treatment for. Then I'll have treatment for. But at the time, when they say you've got there's a lot of thickening in your colon and maybe a mass, then you kind of think, you know what I mean? So, So there's some I spilled my Tamiya brown panel line. That is very good. I like that. Quick, so yeah, but as I say,
Speaking of lost parts, so I did. Luke could probably like this kit. This is the Horch 108 from ICM. It's really detailed. It's not quite mini art, but it's not far off.
No photo, I guess.
But it's got an accelerator and a brake pedal, and they are about 2 millimeters long by about 2 millimeters wide. Tiny little things. Got two of them. And as I was putting it in, it flicked off, and I looked on the floor, and it's just like, it's a tiny little shaving of plastic. I thought, I'm never going to find it. So I just got a piece of like the ICM plastic because it's quite, soft. Carved a new one, glued it together. Spent about 15 minutes doing this. Put it in. Moved the page on the instructions, and then the pedal that was flicked onto there just fell into the middle. I'm like, shit.
The only thing about that with
Moss, I picked that up at the weekend. Full interior.
Nice.
Oh wow!
Oh, the mini art, yeah. Oh,
No, nice. Let me get you bigger. Let me get you bigger. Show that again, Luke. Show that again.
Full interior.
Wow!
Yeah.
Nice, isn't it? Is all that photo etch? Everything on photo etch on the outside.
Most of it, mate.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
probably not your cup of tea.
I just, as I said, I've done photo etch. Oh, going back to ICM. Sometimes I do feel that they need to look into this, where they have two smaller parts. Like when I did that boat, I can't think what they call that, but like when you were on the gun on the front, they've got these U shape that you put your shoulders in, the shoulder pad things. Yeah. As soon as I put Tamiya extra thin on the parts, they've just melted. Seriously, it just. So that would have been a super glue job. I just think that. Sometimes you're best off just making that as one whole part and having these two little shoulder things that there's no way to fix it. And I've spoken to somebody else who's built this boat as well. It's exactly the same. As soon as I touched that little bit of Tamiya, little bit of Tamiya extra thin, they just melted. They're just too thin because they're like a hairbreadth, really. So
this has a couple of brake lines that actually connect for the hubs and go along.
Nice.
And it's such a delicate part. I must have broken one of mine about 3 or 4 times. I mean, managed to glue it back together, but probably better replacing it with wire. But I know what you mean.
Are you video building that, Alex?
So this week, we'll watch that Wednesday.
Alex, are you video building that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to write the script for it at the moment, but it's just, what writing scripts is like. It's like.
Stein's asking, what was that mini art kit, Luke? Again,
Austin
armored car.
Austin armored car.
Well, how would that be Romanian service? I thought Romanian wasn't around back in the.
Yeah. It's all
that. It's post World War I.
Right. Okay. When was Romania a country then? What year did they come back to being a country?
Not sure, mate.
Oh, I don't know. Austin armored car, fair play. Right. Well, after all that bit of fun and everything, and seriously though, like Leslie said, and I totally get this. I go to my doctor. I'd rather be embarrassed than dead, and fair enough. Yeah. I get that. It includes for your mental health and anything that's up. And I honestly, folks, I'm absolutely fine. I know my anxiety's up here anyway, there's other reasons for that. I've been very anxious about things over the past 3 or 4 weeks anyway. But this was like a bit, in life, sometimes in life, the stars don't align. Do you know, in your life, they feel like they don't align, and then they do. Like relationships, sometimes just don't align, then they do. And I just feel that the last month or so they haven't aligned as well as I'd like. So, but thanks for your
stars chocolate, Moss.
Pardon?
Are those stars chocolate?
No. Why? Oh, and on that bombshell, thank you for having us tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it. Would you like to come back again?
I'll come back whenever you like.
Right, mate.
As long as we
Oh my
talk about
gosh, these guys.
Sorry, what was that,
something
Brett?
beside your ass.
We try to have a bit of a laugh, don't we?
It was fun.
It was fun.
It was
Thanks
great
for
to see you,
joining.
Brett.
Yeah. But as I said, it's all good. Thanks all for watching. Thank you, John. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, James. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, John. And we'll see you next week for episode
guys.
1 and 2. Take care all, and good night.